So, hi everyone. Good morning to all of you. And today, our goal is to talk about a lot of students had asked us in the last session also that how to go about restarting now and what should be our strategy. So we thought, why not talk about the restart strategy today?
Absolutely, yes. So, our Telegram channels are also full, our message boxes are also full. So, we thought that it is better to come out and talk to you about it, things that you want to know, right? So, for all the, rankers who know that they will definitely get the branch of your choice, we will be conducting a counseling session. So, here today, we are not going to talk about the branch of your choice at all, right? In this session, uh, we are going to talk about people who may not be getting branch of their choice, so they have doubts, so what they can do, how to make the decisions, and definitely for anyone who wants to start now, how to go about it, right? So those would be the concerns that would be addressed today. And as I said, for all the people who are sure that they would get the branch, we've already spent 2 days with all of you, and now we would want to shift the energies to students who probably need us more at this time. Okay?
Now, the first thing that we thought we'll talk about is the students who have a good rank in the exam already
Yeah.
and you're satisfied with the subject that you're getting.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're satisfied with the subject that you're getting, there are two choices. Choice number one is we start enjoying the time and enjoy the break between the results and the counseling. But this is the time to start also thinking about the counseling so that you can make a wise choice. Second option is that I'm satisfied with the subject, but I still want to give a shot at the central institutes. So then you target the central institutes and you target the November INI-CET. You don't target the May exam because you might be joining your PG through the your exam that result that has already come. So I hope this gives you the perspective. And for these students at DAMS, we have taken out a special 3-month subscription to app TND, which is available till 23rd. A lot of students said, sir, please reintroduce it. So it is available till 23rd.
Yes, and as I mentioned previously, just to put it across once again, app TND will include both INI-CT TND and NEET PG TND. Second, it will be live cycles of both NEET PG and INI-CT TND. Third, there is also one recorded cycle of each NEET PG TND as well as INI-CT TND. So you can mix and match, attend some subjects that you want to do live, some that you can want to cover up from the recorded sessions. So you could do that. Yes, very correctly. It also includes back to basics. So if you feel there are certain subjects or certain topics that you want to readdress, you can use the B2B videos, you can use the B2B golden points, Cortex AI golden points, and definitely you will have to use the LRR and DVT as well, right? They would, be the things that you would need in the final lap, which is the last month before the INI-CT exam, right? So this is broadly for students who are sure of, yes, I will get the subject of my choice. Maybe they are not very sure of the institute and they might have to compromise on the branch a little or the institute a little, and therefore they do want to give a try for November INI exam as well. Okay?
Okay. And now what I'll do is I'll just talk about the second rank of students, which is more likely that we need to talk about there would be like actually more options also. One is that you're satisfied with the rank and your subject. The second kind of students are,
Okay, somebody is saying some platforms are discouraging multiple attempts. I don't think anyone should tell you what to do and what not to do. It's a very, very personal thing. You are achieving something, and I don't think anyone should tell you that you will not be able to do it. Please remember, they are not in your shoes, they are not in your journey. unless somebody is totally exhausted and they feel they have already given their 100% and they feel that there are no obvious loopholes, I think it is worth trying. This year, we have seen many, many damn students. We shared the journeys live with you yesterday, covering from, very far behind ranks, even 1 lakh plus, some were even 1.8 lakh, to top 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K ranks. And I think it is very, very doable. Uh, so, considering that this year, because of the delay, the number of students also appearing was much more, it would not be the same next year. Yes. So, it should be a decision based on how you feel your side of the story is. As I said, if you feel you've given 100%, you have already given 2 or 3 attempts, you are exhausted, then yes, definitely, maybe taking up a branch, starting the journey in a different way would help break the cycle. But I feel anyone who knows deep down they haven't given their 100% for various reasons, they know that there are obvious loopholes, and they know that, I was not completely aligned to the task. I was doing it half-heartedly. Then I think it is worth taking a drop. It's a matter of 6 months. It really doesn't matter in the long run. This is completely our perspective, or my perspective actually. And I feel that is how it should be. The branch and what you're going to pursue is going to stay with you for life. And we cannot accumulate regrets for life because we become negative people at the end of it. Okay.
And now suppose you have not your rank up to your expectation, or you're not getting your dream branch, and I'm adding a word, it is making too much compromise. Too much compromise means, suppose my dream branch is medicine, and suppose I'm not able to get it in a big city, but I'm able to get it in periphery, or I am not able to get medicine, but maybe a allied branch like pediatrics, maybe, or I wanted radiology, but I'm able to get some other branch. So that's like okay compromise. But if it is too much compromise happening, like suppose I wanted surgery, I'm getting anatomy. There's too much compromise on your life. I have never done that kind of compromise in my ideas. So if it is too much compromise and the essence of what you are is getting suffered by making this decision, that is where you need to think, consider giving an attempt for 2026. So I will now divide the students who are appearing for 2026 into two categories. Number one is, you had already studied almost everything, or you were raw, or you are now starting.
Okay.
Many students actually start after internship. So your attempt may not be, your result may not be reflective of what you can do with the 8 months effort.
Okay, before Dr. Samir goes into the details of this, there are many students, who would say, "Ma'am, I did everything," and which means we're not able to find out the loophole. So when you say you did everything, but the rank is beyond 40,000, then there is a discrepancy somewhere, right? Either you do not know what you did or where you lacked, okay? Or the exam day was really bad for you. Yes? So this is what I would say. So now to understand whether you had a loophole or not, I made certain points. So listen to me carefully. And if the answer to these questions is yes, and it is yes to multiple questions, then it means you had obvious loopholes. So first question is, and you can answer it yourself, take a pen and paper and write yes and no to what I say. If you have multiple yeses here, you have obvious loopholes and you will surely improve. So number one, I did not complete my syllabus at least twice. Okay, that is the first question. Because reading it once, really, the retention is only around 50%. So if you are someone who did not complete your syllabus twice, it is an obvious loophole. That is the question number one. So you write yes, I did not complete, or no, I did complete. Second, the second question is, I did not practice enough tests, right? So you might have practiced MCQs, but you were lacking in your testing skills, right? Various kinds of tests. They could be subject tests, they could be grand tests, they could be mock tests. But if you haven't practiced, so did you practice tests or not? And you have to be very, very Truthful when you're answering this because you're answering it for yourself. Third question, I did not practice daily MCQs, right? Which means there are two kinds of students. One who will say, oh, I gave JTs, but I never did daily MCQs. I gave GT once a month, right? So, did you practice daily MCQs or not? Because you know what you learn and what you apply, very often there is a gap, right? So to know whether what I'm learning I'm able to apply or not, you have to practice daily MCQs from the topic you are studying. Question number 4, I relied only on short courses, right? So if you are someone who has done only your preparation based on revision resources, right, it is a big loophole, right? People are telling you to mug up stuff based on PYQs, and it won't really help because the topics are asked in a twisted manner. Okay. The next question is, I have covered subjects superficially, right? So you somebody told you इतना ही करना होता है, इसी के अराउंड आता है, यही टॉपिक्स आते हैं. So if you have covered subjects superficially, haven't covered the depth or the detail that is required in the exam, both in NEET and NEET PG will require certain amount of depth to rule out options. Okay. Then I relied on PYQs heavily, right? So there are many messages where students told me, ma'am, I was only doing PYQs, I was only making custom modules, okay, I was only relying on, PYQs, but I covered PYQs of this exam, that exam. Only PYQs is only going to give you an insight on what topics are asked, okay?
And also, what we need to understand is this year's paper was PYT based, but it was twisted. We talked to all the toppers, all high achievers. They said choices were confusing. So, if you are only doing PYQs, do you think the toppers are not doing them? You're doing something out of ordinary? No. You have to. Everybody is doing PYQs. There will be, you have to, not be in your senses to not see last 3 years or 5 year paper. वो तो सारे बच्चे देख के आए होंगे. Now, how do I reach the top 10,000? I need to apply it in the real exam.
And the last question that I would want you to ask yourself is, I did not practice, but more importantly, I did not review grand tests. There are certain bunch of students who say, I gave 50 GTs, madam, but the problem is in reviewing. So even if you're giving it once a week, once in 3 days, but if you are not reviewing your GTs, your score is going to plateau. And then sometimes you're happy, अरे 140 आ रहे हैं, 145 आ रहे हैं. But what happens in the real exam is, even if it comes 5 MCQs down, your ranks goes multiple times in the other direction, right? So these are the questions you need to ask yourself to know whether there were obvious loopholes or not.
So, what I'll try to do is I'll try to act like a student and, take some answers. Now, suppose the first question was, I did my syllabus twice, yes or no. Okay. So, suppose you have never, and also try to understand. Many students may not be able to answer this question because they have done everything randomly. Randomly means it is just like Netflix. Netflix means, so have you completed the entire Netflix? No, we cannot do it because you're just playing with the Netflix all the time. You've seen एक एपिसोड इस सीरीज का देख लिया, एक इसका देखा, लेकिन कोई भी ऐसा सीरीज नहीं इसका पूरा सीजन हमने देखा है. So have you done all subjects? Means complete syllabus means 19 subjects, and at least twice revision has been done systematically. And also it is important, if
Because
you have
twice
not.
is a very modest number. Listen to the interviews that we have done, and we have done almost 46, 47 interviews in 2 days. And majority of good rank holders have done their syllabus at least 3, 4 times, right? So, two is a very modest number when I say that. Believe me, I'm not trying to exaggerate because first reading में retention कम होती है even for toppers. ऐसा नहीं कि आप में कुछ कमी है, सबकी कम होती है.
And also, if your answer is that I have done less than 50% syllabus, ये बहुत ज़रूरी है समझना. I know many children have this problem, but sometimes you may not be accepting it. लेकिन if you accept it, you will see massive improvement in your scores. I'll explain to you. Suppose I draw a chart like this: anatomy, biochemistry, physiology, patho, pharma, micro, PSM, ENT, opthal, forensic, medicine, surgery, obs gynae, pedia, skin, anesthesia, radiology, psychiatry, orthopedics. Now, suppose I draw a chart like this. I hope you're able to see this. Now, if you are honestly able to mark it, that what are the subjects that you did not study or you had less idea about, or you've never done a regular class on these subjects, you never attended, maybe you've never done the full syllabus of this subject. So, okay, ऐसे कौन से सब्जेक्ट है जिसका आपने एक बार भी पूरी तरह से एक बार भी नहीं किया? So then you start ticking marks. Say, suppose you say, I did not do anatomy, I did not do pharma. Pharma I only did from rapid revision. Ophthal I did not do, or like this. So you start marking like this. Which are the subjects that you did not do the full syllabus on? If the answer to this question is going into majors, what are the majors? Let me just
Five or seven actually big subjects.
okay. Let me just get the pen back. So if your answer is in majors, majors means the bigger subjects. Bigger subject means
Medicine,
medicine, surgery,
obs and gynae, PSM, path,
patho.
pharma.
So if the answers are in majors, that means any one or more than one majors you have never done fully. That means your content is lacking, because these are the subjects. Uh, these are the subjects which will contribute to a lot of questions. These are the subjects which will contribute to a lot of questions. And if more than one of them you've never done fully, this is one loophole. If you plug, you will see massive improvement. I'll just give an example because Dr. Deepti is sitting with me. Suppose somebody did not do obs and gynae before this year's paper, मतलब but did not do it fully. आपने सोचा कुछ रिवीजन रिसोर्स वगैरह से करके काम चला लूंगा. 25 क्वेश्चन का सब्जेक्ट है भाई. रेडियोलॉजी फिर भी चल सकता है, 8-10 क्वेश्चन का सब्जेक्ट, 25 क्वेश्चन का सब्जेक्ट. And if you this year you plug this 25 questions will be a game changer in your destiny. So majors are the first thing to consider if you have not done it so far. And if the answer is more than 5 total, that means more than one major or more than 5 weak areas that you have not done the full course any time, more than 5 subjects anyhow, you need to work on your content. You need to work on your content. I'll explain to you with an example, and how to go about it also is clear. So what do we mean by content? Content means listening to a subject A to Z, not just the golden points. Okay? Try to understand. Not just the golden points. I want to have the full control of the subject.
At
Now,
least twice.
at
Okay?
least twice. At least twice is what the every topper is doing it. Every top ranker is doing this. So you have to understand.
And beta, by top ranks, we don't mean 1 to 10, right? Anybody who has got, below 500 rank, आप जितने भी बच्चों से बात करो, थोड़ा सा ही फर्क होता है सभी बच्चों में. But these are major areas to look down upon. The reason I gave these points for you to answer is because बहुत सारे बच्चे ये कहते हैं, मैम हमने तो अच्छे से पढ़ा था मगर फिर भी उतना अच्छा रैंक नहीं आया या बहुत पीछे आया. And that is why our first purpose is to, maybe you should have an insight and see if you have obvious loopholes. So to those 7-8 questions that we have asked you in the previous slide, if you have multiple yeses, you have obvious loopholes. And if you start working on obvious loopholes, you will improve. There is no reason why you wouldn't, unless you repeat the same mistakes again. Do you understand this? Unless you get blindfolded and you do the same mistakes again. That's where it is a problem. Okay? But if you have obvious loopholes and you decide to give it your best, and believe me, all you need is good 6 months, right? And you will be there improving your scores by leaps and bounds. Okay? So that is why the first thing that we all need is an insight, right? Where we lacked, to know whether we can improve or not.
So I'll give you of this year's rank 2. This girl I was talking and taking an interview of this year's rank 2. After her internship, she did not appear for NEET PG because she had not studied at all. Then she joined DAMS Calicut face to face. She gave herself 8 months, and this year she is rank 2. Many children do this mistake कि वो अगर वो भी वो गलती करती कि मैं तो सिर्फ I'm only preparing in 2 months for any set, then it would have been hustling, 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 but no rank would have come. You need to give yourself 6 to 8 months. If more than majors, one major you have not done, or more than five total subjects you have not done, you need to go for a regular program. So many students ask me how to select between face to face and an app course. If face to face is available in your city, if there is a, you can check the dam's website for the city coverage. We have the largest footprint in the country, but still, India is a very large country. So if you are not, if there is no dams face to face in your city, use the dams alpha app, the newly launched AI powered app. There are two options there. I'll tell you my logic behind them. One is back to basics, which is purely recorded. One is app live. So app live would include back to basics. It will also have a fast track TND and also daily classes. So these are the two choices that you have if content is your major weakness, or if content plus testing is your weakness. That means you are weak in both. मैंने content भी नहीं किया, test भी नहीं किया. Then go for app TND, which is now available with back to basics. That means back to basics plus app TND is also a subscription.
The few things I want to clarify. तो किसी ने पूछा है, do the app cycles repeat after 6 months? Yes. Whether it is app live or it is a TND, we will finish one cycle in 6 months and another full cycle will start in 6 months. So we've recently started the app live from 4th of August after your exam was done, and a new cycle is already going on. For app TND also, we are starting the new cycle of NEETSET TND from 1st of September, and we are already on way of NEET PG TND, which we also started in August. So they would all finish by January 1 cycle. Now listen to me very carefully. Why have we kept three choices? Because this, when you talk about your study, it's not a commodity, right? One thing will not suit everyone. So how do you decide whether you should do the app live, or you should do app TND, or you should do back to basics alone? Now, this completely depends on, and this is exactly the wordings of rank 2 also, that DAMS has, things that students can actually select as to what they need. They cater to all the needs. So you have to see what kind of a learner are you. Number one, if you are someone who cannot do it by yourself for multiple reasons, maybe because it's difficult to do, have the consistency again, maybe because you lack enthusiasm, maybe because you lack consistency, then app live is the course for you. Why? Every day there is a 5 hour class which starts at 5 p.m, goes until usually 9:30, 10. So it gives you the consistency that you need. The morning hours are to yourself, where you can revise, you can practice DQB from the topics you have covered, right? So it gives a very good daily push, consistency. Every day teachers are coming, teaching you, you clear your doubts instantly, right? So multiple advantages are there. If you are someone who currently doesn't know what to do, right? It's very difficult to restart. बोलना बहुत आसान होता है, मगर असली में करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, right? Then probably App Live will help you. It includes back to basics. It also includes one full cycle of TND as well. So this year we will have included one full cycle of fast track TND in the App Live program. So it will include B2B also, so that you can accelerate your course whenever you required. You can do a mix and match of some recorded, some live. That's what a lot of people do, right? And you will also test yourself with the one life cycle of TND. So this is how you decide whether you should go in with the live program or not. Second category of students, I don't want a daily interaction. I would do it majorly by myself, but yes, I would need some interaction with the faculty to keep me pushing. Then, and especially, if testing has been your major problem, application has been your major problem, and you have covered your syllabus at least once. आप एक बार सिलेबस कर चुके हो, पर आपने टेस्ट नहीं किए, आपने उतने अच्छे से रिवाइज नहीं किया, आपको अप्लाई करना नहीं आता, then it is app TND. Why? So app TND gives you like 6 days to be by yourself, where You're going to revise the subject by yourself by using back to basic videos, LRR videos, revision videos. Everything is there with you in app TND. So 6 days में आप अपने आप revise करोगे, PYQs practice करोगे, and at the seventh day there will be a test of a well-defined subject, well-defined topic. You come attend the session live. It's a 6 hour live class. You clear your doubts. You learn application, MCQ skill, updates, how to rule out, how to pick up keywords, everything. Plus, yes, definitely the motivation that every faculty would give, they will want you to push through. So it's like a hybrid program where you are doing majorly by yourself, but yes, once a week you are meeting different teachers and you're clearing your doubts, learning skills, doing testing, doing the reviewing. Okay. Then comes the third set of students. No, I am okay by learning by myself. Okay. I will do it at my own pace. I will do it with my own schedule. I'm able to make a schedule, and more importantly, I'm able to stick to it. Then it is back to basics, right? Where it is a pre-recorded program, you don't have live classes, you have B2B, you have LRR, you have PYT PDFs, you have integrated MCQ rounds, you have your workbooks, notes, everything is there, right? But it's a do it on your own mode, right? You make your own schedule, but most importantly, you have to stick to the schedule, which is where some people have issues. As far as face to face is concerned, that is the cherry on the top. So if you have access to face, all this that I have just now mentioned, you already have access to. So all our face-to-face students have access to App Live. We are the only one in the entire education industry. Nobody else. You even go to IIT, JEE, or whatever. No one gives free app access along with face-to-face. It's either face-to-face or it's app. But we decided we want to give options to students so that they learn what kind of learners they are. This is what I need, this is what I don't need, this is I'm okay with, right? So if you have joined face to face, you will automatically get the entire app live program, which means you will also get back to basics, you will also get the one live cycle of TND in app live, right? So you will have everything along with interaction face to face with the faculty in your center for 2 days, sometimes 3 days in a week. That's how it goes. So approximately 3 days in a week. For bigger subjects, you will have classes. Then for others, you might have it 2 days in a week. Rest of the days, you have access to your app. Use it, revise, test, practice, right? So that is why with face to face, we are including the entire app programs at DAMS Alpha so that you have the ease.
Okay, I see two questions which are popping up very frequently in the chat box. One is, sir, I might get a private college at a high fees. Should I go for it or not? So that's the question that first of all, how I answer this question for myself is usually, is the money or the fees that is involved, if it is a game changer for my family, you understand? So, so it depends on family to family. So if it is a game changer for my family, my father will have to take a loan, sell a property. If it's a game changer, and then after spending that money, am I getting enough clinical exposure in the place or not? So please check out on the college. अभी हम पेपर का एक डिग्री खरीदने के लिए नहीं जा रहे, वहाँ पे काम सीखने को है कि नहीं ये देखना बहुत ज़रूरी है, और मेरे परिवार के लिए वो पैसा कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है. It varies from family to family. Somebody would say कि सर 20-30 लाख कोई बात नहीं, 50 लाख कोई बात नहीं. Somebody would say कि मेरा घर बिक जाएगा. So coming from an ordinary family myself, I would always check these two things. कि वो मेरा पैसा मेरे लिए गेम चेंजर तो नहीं है मेरे परिवार के लिए. एम आई पुशिंग माय फैमिली इनटू डेप्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. Secondly, am I going to get enough clinical exposure out of it, or I'm just buying a paper degree? Those are the two questions that you need to answer.
And especially, I want to add, being from a surgical branch, I would please suggest do not take surgical branches in private colleges unless you know somebody first hand who is there to tell you कि नहीं यहाँ पे अच्छा load है.
You have to see the skill and the clinical exposure
Yes.
and the cutting exposure also.
Medical branches, it's still okay. You can gain experience, but with surgical, it becomes a major limiting factor. Unless, as I said, you have a first hand experience of somebody telling you, no, I am from this place and I know that this private college is pretty good. Then it's a different scenario, right?
Okay. Now, the second question that I wanted to answer is that, you are attending a app live course, which is already having a everyday live class happening from, 4 to 5 hour class happening every day. So, the teachers are very confident about all the concepts that they've already given to you. So what happens in the TND that is included with the face-to-face and also included with the app live is we label it as a fast TND because the teachers will not, teach everything again. You have to
Yeah.
understand people who join only the TND, they discuss, like suppose I'll give you an example. Suppose you have attended my app live class on bone tumor, 2 hour I will teach you all the bone tumors. So in TND, in a NEET PG TND, I might spend 15 minutes on the bone tumors. On a fast TND, because I know these are the children who have already studied for me, I might spend 8 minutes on it. So the difference is teachers in app live know that ये बच्चा मेरे साथ live class में पढ़ रहा है या face to face में पढ़ रहा है. So they try to give more condensed information instead of teaching everything again. While if you are joining a TND program, I know that ये बच्चे ने recorded पढ़ा है मेरे साथ and मुझे confidence नहीं है कि पढ़ा भी था कि नहीं पढ़ा था क्योंकि we know as teachers we know you. So then in the TND I try to use my time, tell everything more important points that I would have told in the live class in a condensed manner.
So as I said, the fast track TND would be for like, every session would be like 4.5 hours. In app TND, it usually goes around 6 to 8 hours, right? Usually around 6, 7 hours. That is the average duration. The papers, yes, are going to be different, but we will obviously be covering all PYTs. I mean, we are all specialists in our branches. We know how to frame things to help you cover. So all test papers are going to be based on three P's. One P is past MCQs, okay, PYQs. The second P is PYTs. We also cover PYTs. The third P is, what is the third P? Probable MCQs, right? So every test paper that a subject faculty makes at DAMS, we have given them these instructions. Use three Ps, okay? Cover previous year questions, cover previous year topics, and cover probable new areas that can be asked from the same or relatively around topics. That's what the guideline at DAMS goes like.
So, after talking to, maybe millions of students in the last 26 years, there are the problems that I have noticed, which, if worked upon, leads to massive improvement in 6 to 8 months. पहला मैंने प्रॉब्लम देखा है कुछ बच्चे कहते हैं सर आई डू नॉट हैव द डिसिप्लिन टू मेंटेन इन माय स्टडीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड सर व्हेन आई वाज इन स्कूल एंड आई वांट ऑल ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस वेरी केयरफुली बिकॉज बड़े होने की भी एक परेशानी है व्हेन आई वाज इन स्कूल अब कई बच्चे कहते हैं सर माय डिसिप्लिन वाज ओके बिकॉज इट वाज एनफोर्स्ड बाय योर पेरेंट्स एंड टीचर्स जब अपन स्कूल में थे टीचर बोलते थे पढ़ाई कर पेरेंट्स भी बोलते थे पढ़ाई कर many times when you were preparing for your NEET UG I'm sure your mother might have taken an off and sat with you and make pushed you into studying ऐसा हो सकता है लेकिन अभी कोई कर नहीं रहा सबको लग रहा है तू बड़ा हो गया है so if discipline is your problem I would strongly recommend if you have a face to face center in your city go there or if you don't have a face to face center go for app live on the DAMS alpha just let me just give the idea here one very important question here because if your the content that we will offer on the
Wait,
app and face to face will be same.
wait. So please remember, no matter which course you join at DAMS, whether it is face to face, app live, or back to basics,
Same thing.
everything is workbook based now. The same handwritten notes will go with all three, right? So everything, even the handwritten notes are based on exactly how the teacher is teaching through the workbook. So no difference in content. Everything is going to be workbook based. The same handwritten notes will be used for every course, whether it is a face to face class, app live class, or back to basics.
Now, the first problem that I noticed was discipline. If that was not your issue, the second problem that we have noticed is superficial knowledge or trivializing the problem. Try to understand this. This will help you to again get insight into कुछ बच्चे क्या करते हैं उनके सीनियर हीरो बनने के लिए कई बार से कहते हैं कुछ करने की जरूरत ही नहीं होती. मैं भी जब सीनियर होता ऐसे ही बोलता हूँ मतलब यू अंडरस्टैंड आप भी बोलेंगे ऐसे अरे कुछ नहीं होता नीट पीजी क्या होगा 10th क्लास क्या होती है 12th क्लास क्या होती है जिस बच्चे की 10th होती है उसकी हालत खराब होती है तो समटाइम्स वी डू इट too superficially or we trivialize the problem and we say I will be able to do it in 1 month. It is not easy to complete 19 subjects in 1 month if your knowledge is more superficial or you had trivialized the problem. Now please give yourself 6 to 8 months of study. This is what I wanted to emphasize, that it sounds very attractive to do it in 3 months, but then there will be almost all the candidates who appear for NEET PG will be appearing for the INI-CET November, because by the time counselings happen, it takes time. So then, how will I beat them in 1 or 2 months of superficial or trivializing the problem option? 6 to 8 months is required. I would once again, ask you to look at the interview where the rank 2 student this year, she after internship did not, till internship had not studied anything, was not even confident about giving the NEET PG itself. अब उसके बाद she could have given an INI in 3 months, but she said, I want 8 months. And that made all the difference. So the second problem that we saw was many people are looking at superficial knowledge, but the choices are tricky. Third is the very important thing I wanted to do. So, what is more important, question practice or test practice?
Actually, before we go to that, please understand this. What we are trying to say is not that you will not give INICT, right? Everyone will give INICT TND. Do not tell yourself that I will not give it, INICT exam. But please understand, you will take some time to have a massive jump in the ranks, which you need, and to get the branch of your choice. We are going to still give INI-CET because it acts as a good landmark to see that you're on the right track, you're able to focus. So paper जरूर हम देंगे, keeping it as a landmark. But हमारी तैयारी primarily will be for NEET PG, especially, I would say if your rank is beyond 50,000. 45-50,000 इसके पीछे आपकी रैंक है बेटा जी, तो जैसे सर ने कहा, I'm not saying miracles don't happen, but they need effort and time, right? And currently, for November exam, we just have approximately 2.5 months now, right? So please understand this. You will improve. So even if you are, let's say, at 40K, you may come at a good 20K rank in any set. But again, as I said, you will not get the branches of your choice. So अगर आप नवंबर को ही टारगेट करोगे तो क्या होता है, फॉर दीज मंथ्स यू आर जस्ट गोइंग हेवायर, रैपिडली कर लें, and at the end of November you realize you're again in the same position where you don't know how to start, and you have now already wasted 2.5 months. Yes, so it is essential you have right targets, and in between you have checkpoints. Okay.
And the third and the fourth problems that we've noticed is that many people are, because you're all good students, intelligent students, you target perfection, and you say that Abhi sir, I'm doing MCQs from custom modules, or I'm only doing MCQ practice. Test I will give when I'm perfect. और वो perfection आती नहीं तब तक exam आ जाता है. So my third request to you is start giving test immediately. सर अभी तो पढ़ा भी नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, शुरू करना पड़ेगा. Progress is more important than perfection. Giving tests is probably one of the biggest change you can make in your career by start giving your tests. So at DAMS you will have multiple tests, TND papers, test and discussions, class test, subject-wise test, grand test, mock test, transform 10x test, and most of the big tests will all come with video solutions. And also the fourth thing is something which is not often talked about. Again, good students, sometimes because they are trying to study the main notes again and again, sometimes you don't are not able to revise. So try to understand the DAMS idea. The DAMS idea is a funnel like this. This is what we build up. We build up your concepts in the first phase with classes. Classes could be in three methods: face to face, app live, or recorded. but then we summarize with live rapid revision. So then, if we are shifting from main notes to LRR notes, you also need to shift. And then in the end, we summarize with DVT. Then that is the time you also summarize with DVT. And in the end, we do a the marathon. और अगर आप सच में देखेंगे ना, कई बच्चे ऐसे थे जिन्होंने बहुत रिसोर्स कर लिए थे, लेकिन सिर्फ डैम्स का जो मैराथन उन्होंने लास्ट में अटेंड किया, that was the game changer. So marathon will be the final thing that we'll do. So this is how we condense the material from top to bottom.
Right, absolutely. So I think we have given you a good insight on sabse pehle, we started with uh, am I getting the branch of my choice? Yes or no? Do I have to compromise a lot? Yes and no. Uh, how do I know whether I should restart or not? I gave you those 6, 7 questions to answer. And we said if it is multiple yeses, then you have obvious lacuna, obvious loopholes, and once you start plugging them, you will improve. Right? So people who have joined in late can watch the live session from the beginning. We will also make a note of all the things that we have said today, and we will also publish it for you so that you can repeatedly go through it and have a clear understanding. Maybe once you publish, you can take a printout and actually sit with your parents as well. That this is how madam and sir have told us to go through to decide whether I should be taking a drop or not, right? Whether is it possible for me to improve my rank or not? But lastly, I would also say that passion beats everything. Okay, and you have to do a branch for the right reasons. If you believe that you are just going to take a branch because you're getting it, unfortunately, you will have many problems while pursuing the branch. Everything will be seen as a negativity. You would not even like the smallest of the things that's happening around you, and it becomes cyclical and you become trapped in it. On the other hand, when you pursue something because it is your passion or you want to do it, I'm not saying you will not have problems. You will have. But the reason to persist will be way stronger than things that are happening around you, and you keep going forward in the event or in the process of growing. That's what the difference is, right? So do you want to be trapped in a circle of regrets simply because it was a matter of 6 months and you didn't allow yourself those 6 months? Also, taking care of your mental health is important. As I said, if you have already taken 2, 3 drops, if you feel that you are exhausted, if you feel that you have gone all out and you still don't understand, yes, maybe picking up a branch helps you break the cycle and helps you move forward with your life, right? But again, as I said, these are perspectives. They are not judgments. I am no one to give a judgment that you should do this, you should do that, this is right, this is wrong. Absolutely no. There is a certain way I take my life, and I feel uh, maybe this is what has worked for me. Maybe something else works for you. Okay, we are all different individuals. We work on different mechanisms, right? We have different genes. We have different work ethics, codes, whatever. So nothing is right and wrong. It's all about perspectives and how we perceive ourselves. There are a lot of people who have taken decisions based out of fear, and they will guide you in the same way. People who have taken their decisions in life being bold will guide you in the same way, क्योंकि उसके लिए बोल्ड रहना अच्छा हुआ और उसके लिए fearful रहना अच्छा हुआ. So it's all about आप किन लोगों की सुन रहे हो. If a general aura of a person is negative, they are likely to give you advices based on fears, right? Because that's how they have lived their life. If the general aura of the person is something which is full of enthusiasm, positivity, they see good out of everything, they, more importantly, they see opportunity in everything, they will give you a different advice. So it's very essential that when you are listening to people, please see, are their advices based on popular opinions? For example, X. People are going to write something which is controversial, something that sparks a debate, so that they have multiple people commenting there, talking about them, and it's a whole different world on X. There, the goal of people is only more people should follow me. I have to say controversial things. I have to stay relevant. I have to speak on recent topics that will make me relevant. Please be very careful when you're listening to advices. Again, it is listen to multiple people, but do what you feel is right. Talk to people who are in your inner circle, right? Very essential, and then take the decisions of your life. That's all I can say.
So what I'll give you as a summary is the most important factor that will help you to determine should I repeat or not is the branch. And branch is like a relationship.
And also
So
whether you did your
yes.
best or not.
So, how do you decide on a relationship is it depends on who you are and what you want from the other person. So, similarly, in the branch, it depends on your personality and your aspirations. So, if you are able to get a branch which will meet your personality, which will meet your aspirations, it's a good choice to make, which is a dream choice to make. लेकिन कई बार ड्रीम चॉइस नहीं मिलती है, which is okay to understand. In relationships also, you may not meet the best possible, but you might have to make some compromise. But it should not be a bad compromise. So what I'm trying to tell you is, सपोज करो मैं मेरे दिल में मैं एक सर्जन हूँ, आई ऑलवेज वांटेड सर्जरी, बट नाउ आई एम परस्यूइंग एनेस्थीसिया, मैं ऐसा चेंज कर दूं कि मैं एनेस्थीसिया में चला जाऊं, देन इट माइट नॉट बी अ गुड कॉम्प्रोमाइज बिकॉज इट इज चेंजिंग द एसेंस ऑफ व्हाट यू आर.
And similarly, if you are a surgeon and now you've got a good rank and you decide, अरे अब शायद मुझे रेडियो मिल जाएगी तो मैं रेडियो कर लूं, आप खुश नहीं रहोगे. It's not just about a branch here or a branch there. It's about, as sir said, you have to match your personality. You have to match your physical capacity. They can still be built, I would say. You can build your capacity as well. But definitely, it is very essential to understand who you are and what you want. Okay?
Okay. And also, I'll just add a line about radiology. Ulta bhi ho sakta hai, if you always wanted radiology. So if for me it was true, I always wanted radiology, took neurosurgery, then dropped
मगर ना
out and
अच्छा,
went on to radiology.
बहुत सारे बच्चों को अभी रेडियोलॉजी बोलना फैंसी भी लगता है. Not because they actually like radiology, but because they feel it gives a good, what do they say? कौन सा balance?
Work life.
Work life. Oh, I'm sorry. I was completely non-aware of that because I'm a surgeon. So yes. So I think बहुत सारे बच्चों का रेडियो लेने का reason or saying I always wanted to do radio was more of a lighter branch rather than actually the love for the branch. So again, I would say please take branches based on better whys. Please understand the why behind it, write it down, and then take the decision.
Also, I wanted to add a line here because I see this comment popping up in the chat again and again. Sir, my parents are not allowing me to do it. I'm sure, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. It's more like I try to understand this. We have to find out who are the people who are in my inner circle. Inner circle वो होता है जिसको हम विश्वास करते हैं कि ये मेरे लिए ठीक बता रहा होगा. But whenever we take up parental advice, अगर हम पेरेंट्स से एडवाइस लेते हैं, दैट एडवाइस इज हिंज्ड ऑन सेफ्टी. ये बात जाननी बहुत जरूरी है. एंड ऑल चिल्ड्रन नो दिस कि पेरेंट का एडवाइस क्या होगा वो आप बिना उनसे पूछे भी जान सकते हो. एक बार मेरे साथ आप पापा मम्मी बन जाओ, मैं आपसे पूछूंगा, आप मुझे जवाब देना. पापा पापा, 1 साल और पढ़ूं या जो मिल रहा है ले लूं, मैं इतनी मेहनत नहीं कर पाऊंगा जिंदगी में, थक गया हूं. ले ले बेटा.
Naturally, I
ले ले
mean,
बेटा.
it's how you put it
So the
across.
response of parents is based on safety, and whatever the child is happy doing, they tend to be
Also,
echo chambers.
yes, yes. Also, imagine yourself from the result about third day. Imagine you have been sulking for those 3 days. You have been crying. You've locked yourself in a room, and your parents are seeing you. They are seeing how unhappy the child is, how much affected the child is. If those are the kind of vibes you're going to give, if I was your parent, I would say the same. I don't want to see my child crying, locked up in a room. I don't want to see my child feeling defeated and helpless and hopeless. No parent wants that. So it's also about how you project yourself. Do you project yourself as a strong person who's willing to take up the challenges? Do you project yourself as someone who is, as of now, wanting sympathy, right? Do you project yourself someone who is into self pity? Whatever you are going to project, you're going to get that. People are going to, because nobody wants to get into a fight with you. You say, I am sad, I'm depressed, I don't want this. We will also say, बच्चे नहीं, अपना ध्यान रख और take a branch. Do you listen to me? I'll never say कि तू, आप मुझे कह रहे हो आप depressed हो और मैं आपको कहूँ नहीं तू पढ़ तू पढ़ तू पढ़. Why would I do that? I don't want to see you like that. I want to see you moving ahead in life and growing. So, as Sir said, echo chamber. Please see what you are projecting, right? Majority of us will keep your safety, your happiness, your mental health above everything else, right?
So how do we solve this thing? Because we know whenever we're taking advice, even from our inner circle, it comes from places where they are already related to us. Try to understand your teachers, your parents. They love you also, and they care for you also. But they want you to shine also. But they want you to be safe also. So it is all colored advices. My way of life has always been: please talk clearly and fully. दिस गुड कन्वर्सेशन इज द नीड ऑफ द आवर. ये एक अच्छी कन्वर्सेशन आपको करने की ज़रूरत है, अपने परिवार के साथ भी, दोस्तों के साथ भी, टीचर्स के साथ में, लेकिन उसके अंदर आप बोलो. डोंट जस्ट से सर व्हाट डू यू थिंक सर, मैं मेडिसिन ले लूं कि ना लूं सर, मैं प्राइवेट में ले लूं कि ना लूं. मैं कैसे, मतलब आई विल हेल्प यू आउट टू द बेस्ट ऑफ माय knowledge, but I'll come from a perspective, I'll come from a viewpoint. You need to come from your viewpoint. So more you talk. So I've had multiple discussions with children, their parents over the years, and I just wanted to tell you September 10th is the tentative date for DAMS career counseling in Delhi. We will soon be opening on the app in the event section and ability to block your seat, because
Yes,
it
because
gets very
otherwise
crowded, and it
we are
sometimes it
not able
becomes.
to handle, and we're
uh,
not able to give
so
attention as
we
well.
don't want any surprises in terms of the crowds coming in. So we have opened out the registration so that we are well prepared mentally on what is the number of people coming, and so that we are able to manage. So September 10th in Delhi we'll be doing a face-to-face career counseling. All the teachers will be available, and in that I would again say the conversation that you need to have has to be you speaking, and that talking should mean and you need to talk about everything. Who are you, matlab what kind of personality are you, and then you need to answer what do you aspire.
इनफैक्ट थोड़ा सा होमवर्क कर कर भी आओ.
ये अभी लिखना भी शुरू कर दो, मैं कौन हूँ, मैं क्या चाहता हूँ मेरी जिंदगी से. और मतलब इफ आई एम एबल टू फाइंड अ जोन जहाँ ये दोनों मैच हो जाए, इफ आई एम एबल टू फाइंड द ब्रांच वेयर माई एस्पिरेशंस, वेयर माई पर्सनैलिटी दे मैच, ठीक है, वो मेरा इकिगाई हो सकता है. दैट कुड बी द प्लेस दैट आई वांटेड टू रीच. तो बट इट नीड्स अ लॉट ऑफ कन्वर्सेशन. एंड समटाइम्स आई फील नाउ व्हाट इज समटाइम्स I we have seen the by chance in our life we've seen the era before social media also, saw the era after the social media also. Sometimes the only conversations that are happening are with random strangers who are not even invested in your life. You and you don't even know their credibility. Sometimes they are not even credible,
Yeah,
or
they
only
it could be
credibility
just
they have is the number of followers. Say, like suppose somebody has a lot of followers and he says something, you think कि सही कह रहा होगा, ऐसा नहीं होता. So they don't have a credibility also to give an opinion on anything. And sometimes कभी कभी क्या होता है, all the conversation that is happening for you is actually you're lonely. All the conversation that is happening is with random strangers who are not invested in your life and who are not credible. So you tend to form wrong notions about life. People that you need to talk to are your parents, your teachers, your friends, but you need to talk rather than asking them to talk.
okay. A very important advice, or I won't say advice, a caution. Stop asking people in their 40s and 50s about work life balance. Have you guys heard about midlife crisis? Yes, they're all suffering from that. Asking a 45-year-old person about work life balance, or him talking about work life balance, compared to a 25-year-old you thinking of work life balance, is I mean, was he or she thinking of work life balance at the age of 25? We should be full of enthusiasm at that time. I want to do this. I want to go here. I want to do that. I want to achieve this. I want to become this. Please do not ask people who themselves have midlife crisis about work life balance, because that's what is hitting them now. Okay, you cannot compare their life with yours. They were not what you see them now, they were not that, right? And hindsight में हर किसी को लगता है कि यार मैं होशियार हो गया हूँ और यू नो ये नहीं उतने होशियार हैं, right? So please remember and take everything with a pinch of salt. I would say that for us as well. When you're listening to us, listen to us with all your mind and heart open. You may take some of our advices, you may not. That is absolutely fine. Okay? It is not that you have to completely abide by what we say. We will actually never pass judgments as well. We will keep it very open. uh, we are sitting here live, we have no this thing, we're just saying what we truly believe, and it's okay if you don't resonate. It is absolutely fine. We don't have to resonate with everyone around, it's not even possible. Take some advices, think, become better decision makers, because eventually I said in one of my transform sessions that your life is going to be about average sum of choices you make. If every time your choice is out of fear, you are going to live a life which is going to be limited. And I have seen that personally as well, and from personal experiences. Okay, and I'm not saying that's good, that's bad, no, that's okay, but then your whole life is going to be limited for sure. Okay, we've seen that with our parents. Okay, and they are a generation behind us, and we see how their decisions were crowded with fear, and it's been limited. Okay, I'm not saying it was right, wrong. They've tried their best. We owe it to them. But we feel they haven't enjoyed just because their life was so much filled with fear and future fear, what will happen, how it will happen, right? So average sum of choices हर तरीके की होना चाहिए. कभी कभी out of fear is also okay. I am not saying कि go and do this, go and climb Mount Everest. No, I am not doing that or saying that to you. So average sum of choices कुछ out of fear हो सकती है, मगर majority नहीं, is what we are trying to say.
So we are leaving you with few buzzwords: work-life balance, what is my passion, and doing what subject will not feel like work. किसी किसी को सर्जरी भी काम नहीं लगता और किसी किसी को रेडियोलॉजी में बहुत काम लगता है. So what does not feel like work to you? What do you seek in your life? What kind of person you are? What are your aspirations? Don't copy anybody else's life. हर आदमी की journey unique है, अलग है. You need to remind yourself, I only live once, so I need to do things my way. And here we are with you, unfiltered, every day in the morning, 10 a.m. transform sessions. And we are here to tell you, we respect your choices. अगर तू बोलता है कि मैं दोबारा नहीं पढ़ूंगा, वी आर ओके विद इट. तू कहता है पढ़ूंगा, वी विल हेल्प यू. तू कहता है मैं ये रेडियोलॉजी लूंगा, वी लव यू. तू कहता है रेडियोलॉजी शिट है, आई लव यू स्टिल. यू नो, सो वट एवर यू टेक, वी आर नॉट देयर टू जज यू. दिस इज वट यू हैव लर्नड ओवर द ईयर एज मेंटर्स, दैट हर जिंदगी अलग है, हर बच्चे की स्ट्रगल अलग है, हर बच्चे की एस्पिरेशंस अलग है. वी लव यू एनी हाउ, irrespective of your ranks, irrespective of your outcomes, irrespective of your choices. When we chose to become your teachers, we gave you this like totally like unconditional love to you, because हमने अगर हमने बोला कि मैं तेरे टीचर हूँ, तो फिर तेरी आउटकम, तेरे सपने, वो सब मिलके ही मैं आई स्टिल लव यू बिकॉज ऑफ irrespective of everything. But all I would want you to do is, please start speaking up, have a good conversations with people who matter. That is going to help you form your decision making. Instead of just saying कि मेरे साथ खराब हो रहा है या मेरे साथ सही हो रहा है या मैं ये ब्रांच नहीं करना चाहता था, या खुल के बात करेंगे, पूरी खुल के जितनी आप बात करोगे उतना क्लैरिटी पेरेंट्स को भी मिलता है, उतना क्लैरिटी टीचर्स को भी मिलेगा, एंड यू विल बी एबल टू मेक अ गुड डिसीजन. And choosing a branch is just like, marrying someone. You need to, spend your time.
Also, I saw a query that, ma'am and sir, can we bring our parents to the career counseling session? Yes, you can absolutely bring your parents. It will be a pleasure to meet the people who have brought up these young, bright doctors. But as we said, just block your seats because it becomes too overwhelming. Yes, the faculty are going to be there. We are ensuring, at least for majority of clinicals, paraclinicals, we do have at least one faculty from each branch to be able to guide you. Okay? So September 10 is the most likely date that we have scheduled, and we, as Dr. Samay said, we will be opening up the booking slots in the event section on the DAMS Alpha homepage. Okay.
Okay, I see some queries. Okay, sir, if I am not able to come to Delhi, I would say please come to Delhi because we would love to meet you in person also. हो सकता है कि ज़िंदगी आगे बढ़ जाए, हम कहीं और हों, आप कहीं और हों, लेकिन मिलने का अच्छा मौका है. लेट्स बी देयर यार, और नहीं तो मिलेंगे, बात करेंगे. आई वुड स्ट्रांगली रिकमेंड कि इफ यू कैन कम,
It's an important
it would
decision
be
of
a
your
good
life.
decision making
And
thing.
maybe it opens
some
up some
some
perspective.
people are saying, so why can't we have it only online? So YouTube पे भी हम बात कर रहे हैं, आज भी तो कर ही रहे हैं ना. सो जब सामने से होगी तो आप भी बोल पाओगे, आप भी अपने आपके पेरेंट्स भी बात कर पाएंगे, मम्मी पापा भी बताएंगे. हो सकता है आप बोलो रेडियोलॉजी करना है, मम्मी बोले मेडिसिन करना है, पापा बोले सर्जरी करना है. तो हो सकता है वी कैन हैव अ गुड डिस्कशन देयर, एंड वी विल ट्राई टू एड्रेस क्वेश्चंस लाइक एमडी वर्सेस डीएनबी, and we'll also try to address the pros and cons of each branches. We'll also talk about artificial intelligence, don't worry. And we'll talk about everything. Okay.
Okay, so I hope we've cleared some air, given you some insight. Please go through this video right from the beginning. We have talked about how to take the decisions. We will be sharing a written note of this as well. We'll pen it down and we'll put it down for everybody in our Telegram groups. And we are also trying to personally reach out to all the messages, but you won't believe it's like my Telegram says I have 980 notifications and I am too scared. I'm opening them one by one, but I am not sure how many will I be able to reach out. Similarly, there are inboxes in Instagram, there are inboxes in WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, X. We are trying. Please don't be angry if we haven't been able to reach out to you. That is why we sit here on YouTube, because we feel we are able to reach out to more numbers, because you want to talk to us and we value it, and we want to be there for you when you need us the most. Okay, so we are trying, and stay happy with whatever you are going to do. It is the essence of life. Stay excited about what you're going to do. It is the more important essence of life. And don't worry about being right and wrong. Nobody knows. Uh, Stop trying to chain yourself up. We cannot control people. We should not control people, right? We want good for them. That is one thing. But we are not should not be hoping to control people and what they do. It is their karma. Yes, you should let them be, especially once they become adults. So that is why they say we will nourish and nurture them when they are young, but after that I think we should give you all the freedom to make your decisions, and we are sure that you have been very well brought up to be able to make good decisions. Okay, or the ones that are good for you. It may not be okay for someone else, but they're good for you, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, take care, love, blessings, and loads of good vibes we are trying to send your way. So take care, everybody. Okay.
And all we can say in the end is कि बॉस जो भी करेगा ना अच्छा करना. बस मैं तो एक ही चीज कह रहा हूँ, वट एवर यू चूज टू डू बी योर बेस्ट इन इट. विल टॉक अबाउट, आई हैव अ ड्रीम कि मैं आगे भी आपसे बात कर पाऊँ कि हाउ टू बिल्ड अ मासिव करियर, हाउ टू बिल्ड अ नेम फॉर योर सेल्फ, हाउ टू बिल्ड अ क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिस फॉर योर सेल्फ. वी विल टॉक अबाउट एवरीथिंग. सब बात करेंगे, सब कुछ करते जाएंगे. आपके लिए मैं सिर्फ आज ये कहना चाहता हूँ, प्लीज बी ट्रू टू योर सेल्फ, स्पीक अप, टॉक फुली विद योर पेरेंट्स, टॉक फुली विद योर मेंटर्स, फ्रेंड्स, खुल के बात करेगा, यू नो, और
Nobody is
उस
judging you.
नोबडी
It
जजिंग यू,
doesn't matter.
और शायद उनको समझ भी ना आए, लेकिन तुझे समझ आ जाएगा जब हम खुल के बात करते हैं. वी गेट टू नो व्हाट वी रियली वांट. सो द हार्ट ऑलरेडी नोज व्हाट वी वांट टू डू, द ब्रेन टेक्स टाइम. लेकिन the only bad decision is not making a decision. So please take a good decision, and we wish you all the best, and we'll come back again tomorrow 10 a.m. in the Daily Transform session.